Hello and welcome to this first episode of the English version of Vilyrik. This is a podcast dedicated to the non-musical life of professional singers. Today I will be speaking with an Estonian soprano, Maari Ernits, who is traveling all around the world to pursue a career in singing. And, well, let's just begin. Hello there, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well.
So, where are you right now?
At the moment, sitting back home in my apartment in Tartu, Estonia.
Good, nice. Is it still the kind of crazy snowy weather?
It's super beautiful. It's snowy, it snows every single day. It's mild, I mean like -7, -8, -10.
Hmm.
I'm in seventh heaven because I love the winter.
Okay, that's nice. Good. So you agreed to be speaking with us today about the non-musical life of professional singers.
Yes, indeed.
No stress about it. So basically, my first question is always the same and is quite basic, but how did you come to singing? What was your starting point?
So apparently, I've been singing since I could speak and form sentences or words with my mouth. I've been singing. I've been singing to my neighbors when I was 3 years old in the garden, singing about cherry trees and how the neighbor was picking cherries, and that was rather annoying. So at a certain point, I was put into music. I was put into music school, and I started singing in choirs. And music is actually was a big part of primary education in Estonia. I'm not sure what is the situation now, but during my days, we had music lessons, I think twice a week, and we always sang in those lessons and sang ensembles. And so it's always been there for me, and I liked it, and I like to sing, and I've always had a very strong voice. Even during my first grades, singing with little children, 8, 10 years old, I was always the loudest. Everybody was like a mouse, and I was just very loud and singing with full joy and with full voice. So I always stood out with singing, and music was a natural course from there. I played the violin. I studied violin for 8, 9 years, and I always sang in choirs even during school time and even in my university time before I started taking my professional voice lessons. I was always in amateur choirs. And amateur choir in Estonia normally means that you rehearse twice per week for hours. I mean, our rehearsals were 2, 3 hours twice a week. So it was a big part using your voice and singing. And from one of the choirs, I had a voice teacher in the choir who said that maybe I should try out for voice studies in the local music college. So there we go.
It's so nice that you have such a strong musical culture that is open to everyone.
It's such a big part of Estonia, and everybody knows our song festivals, and everybody looks forward to them. They're a big event. The main song festival is every 4 years only. So choirs prepare for years to prepare for the song festival. And actually, the next one is this coming summer, and people are excited already. So it's a big part of Estonian culture.
How did you get to did you got to Holland? Because I know that you made a part of your studies there. What was this like? What
Yes.
made you go there?
I started in a music college here in Tartu, in Eino Eller Music College, for 3 years. And that is kind of seen like a preparatory studies for conservatory studies. So the next option for singers is to go to the capital, to go to Tallinn Conservatory, or Music Academy, actually. It's called Music Academy, um, or go outside. And I always had this deep feeling that I have to go outside. I always felt that that was my purpose, and that will make me so much better as a singer, that I have to go. And as an English speaking, and I don't speak at that point, I didn't speak German or any of the other main languages, Italian, that I could go anywhere else. So the options were Holland or England. So I tried both, and I got accepted to Amsterdam Conservatory and the conservatory in Den Haag, and that was my place to go. And I'm very happy I took the decision, because I also got accepted to Estonian Music Academy, where I would have had a free spot. I wouldn't have to pay tuition, and I would know my teacher, and I actually like that person I would have been studying with there. But I think every singer should go outside of their country to study. It brings you so much more, and you meet all of these people that, especially in Estonia, I would have never met. The level of people and those kinds of people. I was very happy about that.
Uh-huh. Is this one of the reasons too of that was a really strange sentence. Is it one of the reasons that makes you do all that kind of masterclasses you do all around the world? Because I'm following you on social media, so I see that you're like a super traveler around the world. Is this one of the reasons why?
I do travel a lot, and I actually enjoy traveling, and this is a perfect reason to travel. I specifically look for master classes that are far away and that I might be interesting for me. But the main thing is that I look at who's teaching there. I look at the people that I could meet there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that includes the teachers, and that includes also the students. I look at the level of the course. You can see from the people who have graduated from the course what kind of level it has. And if you go to that kind of courses, you will learn in 4 weeks. You will learn half a year's material with those kinds of lessons, the intensity of the course, and with all the people you can communicate there with. So that's a main part of my development, is those kinds of masterclasses. And since the time that I entered Amsterdam Conservatory, I made a plan for each summer to go to a masterclass. And I have succeeded. There's only been a few summers that I couldn't go because I was busy with productions. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, every summer for the past, it has been 7 years now, I think. So for the past 7 years. And I think the results, I can feel them, and I know that people can hear them. So it's well worth of going to masterclasses that are far away and look very exciting.
Mm. So you would recommend those master classes
Absolutely.
even to young singers?
Absolutely. There are classes for every kind of development. You can be a beginner and you can find a course that suits your development. Of course, you cannot aim for those that do full productions, and they already want singers that are very developed and have studied for years and years. Probably you will not even get accepted to courses like that, because for most of the high level courses you have to audition to, and then you will get invited to the course. But there are some that you don't have to, and there are very boutique courses, let's say, that only invite 10 people, and they're not so well known, and you might just stumble upon them, and that's why you go to them. They look interesting. But I think there are courses out there that suit every kind of singer, and it's absolutely necessary to go and to see how things are done outside. If you sit only in your home conservatory, you only see the people that the 15 singers that are around you. Those are the only singers that you see, the students. When you go outside, in my time of doing masterclasses, I was thinking about it, and I think I met over 200 different students, singers. I and you learn so much from your colleagues already, and you learn so much about repertoire that when you would have been at home, you would have never discovered for yourself.
Yeah, clearly, I totally agree with you. So, a bit of a different subject is, I mean, you're traveling a lot. You did live abroad for a few years. How do you, huh? How do you socialize? What does it mean to be a foreigner? As a singer, especially in your kind of level, you are meant to travel all the time. So how do you keep a steady life? How do you keep friends, for example? You know?
Yeah, it's not easy. Let's say it's not easy keeping friendships, and it's a lot of work. And in the recent years, I've consciously started working on the relationships. I get in touch with people, I write to them, I send them pictures, little links just to let them know I'm thinking about them. And whenever I can, of course, we meet up. But also the problem is that most of my friends, my Estonian friends, don't even live in the same town with me. Everybody has moved to the capital. I'm the only one who stayed back home in southern Estonia. And if it's very rare that I visit Estonia, it was very rare when I visited Estonia. So if I came for only 1 week, I didn't have time to travel to the capital and then see my family and see everybody. So it was very difficult, especially during studies. Now it's a bit more relaxed. But also keeping my friends that I made in Amsterdam, who are very dear to me, and I made some very close friends there. I'm still figuring it out how to maintain that, because going back to Amsterdam, I might go, I don't know, once a year if I'm lucky, because at the moment I have nothing binding me there. But I think I just try to keep in touch, because nowadays with Facebook and Instagram, you can see what people are doing, and if I don't see somebody posting for a long time, I will write to them and I try to comment on their pictures and their links that they share. I find that keeps the connection somewhat alive. Of course, face to face connections are better, but unfortunately not possible most of the time.
How do you do with this? Is a more intimate question. You're allowed to say no but how do you do that with love life, especially when you're away for 2, 3, 4 months in a row?
Yeah, I have to say I am very lucky. I'm very lucky that I have a boyfriend for the past. Um, I think we're going on year 7 now, and for the most of this 7 years, I have been away. We started dating when I went to Amsterdam. 1 month before I left for Amsterdam, we started dating, and we have kept it alive for over 7 years now. I don't know why it works. For us, it works. I think it has to do with the personalities that we have. That both of us, we are doing our day-to-day business. He has his own job. He's not in the musical profession, so maybe that is also a big part. Uh, he's working hard. I'm working hard. We speak every day. When I was away, we Skyped every day. WhatsApp was a big part of it. And I guess, yeah, trust is a big thing, knowing that you can trust the other person. And I don't know, it worked out. I'm very lucky. Of course, you miss each other in the beginning, but it gets easier in the end.
I mean, you work for it too. It's not something that comes by magic.
Yeah, no, it's of course constant work. You have to keep the other person in mind. What always helps is also, for example, we plan our lives together, meaning that what helps us come closer when we're apart, during our calls on Skype, we speak about the future. We speak about how we're going to build a home together, and what kind of pillows we're going to buy, and what are you going to have for dinner, and what are we going to have for dinner together when I'm there. And those little details that you plan for the future together will bring the relationship very far, even if you're away from each other.
Yeah, you have a common goal.
Yes, exactly.
And do you have a routine for singing?
You mean my day-to-day life?
Yeah, your basics. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super interested in routine at the time.
Yes, and I'm a strong believer in routine, and I I really love routine. It brings me so much, and I feel that my life is so much more easier when I have this routine going. So at the moment, when I'm preparing uh, for example, I'm preparing for two recitals, one role debut, and one competition. So this is all happening in the next 6 months. So I need to have a very strict routine in my day in order to be prepared for everything. So I wake up at 7:30 with my boyfriend every day. It's very easy to get into this mode that, yeah, I don't have to go to work. I can sleep until 10. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But for me, it matters because I do my best jobs in the morning. So before noon is my most productive period. So I wake up at 7:30, I have my breakfast, I get ready, and I go to my practice room. So I'm very fortunate I can still use the school rooms that I'm a graduate of here in Tartu. So I go every day. I practice for, well, maximum 2 hours. I don't want to practice too much because I feel that it's not good for me. I practice every day, so that's normally from, let's say, from 10 to 12 is my practice hours.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
recently, I've been also going to the gym, so that's part of my routine. I either do it before I go to my practice session or I go after. So normally I go run on a treadmill for an hour or for half an hour, depending on the day. So that's part of my routine. But everything gets done before lunch. Then I come home, I have my lunch, and around 2, 3, I'm back at work at my computer. So I have to do all the emails. I have to look at all the job opportunities that are out there, and start memorizing my new songs that I'm doing for the concert and for the competition. And then it's already 5, so it's time to eat again. so so that's my day to day at the moment, when I'm in preparation for things, when I'm at home sitting at my desk, and yeah, just learning new things. And this is the part of the job that I think that most people don't understand. That, yeah, what do? You just sing? No, I have to do everything else around it also. I have to take care of my body, I have to take care of my voice, and then I have to take care of my brain in order to memorize things. And that's a full-time job, which nobody at the moment pays me for. And that's a pity, of course, but I'm hoping that one day it will change.
Yeah, yeah, clearly. I mean, you have such a gorgeous voice, and you are
Thank you.
so motivated. I can't see you not succeed. Really,
Well,
that's
thank you. I hope things will work out. But the problem with this profession is that most of the things are out of your control. You have no control
Mhm.
over what people think of you and what will get offered to you, and so you just cannot see in the future. You can only do the day-to-day things that you're doing and focus on that and hope that that will bring you your main goal.
Yeah, and it's also a super intimate question. But what is your main goal? Do you have one in mind?
I have many main goals. So I what I like to do is also make little sub goals of the main goal. So at the
Yeah,
moment,
milestone.
at the moment, my main goal is to get ready for my role debut as Suor Angelica during the summer. So that will be in
Hmm.
June. So that's my main goal for now. um, but I
Yeah, it's a super big main goal. I mean, Suor Angelica, it's not
Yes.
nothing, you know.
Yes. And then I make that into little goals. I have these two recitals that are my little goals. I want to do a good recital and just to keep myself busy. But I understand that you might mean like a bigger life goal than, yeah, I want to sing on a stage. So every day, everything what I do is towards that goal, that I want to be on a stage. And if nobody's inviting me to be on the stage, then I invite myself, as I do with the recitals that are coming up. Those are my own initiative and my own organization. So I have these little goals and this big goal of being on the stage and just performing to people. And
Hmm.
that's my life.
Yeah, I remember when we met in Roma. It was, so to explain, it was an audition. neither of us were successful, and we spent a lovely day together eating and visiting Roma.
Yes.
And you told me something that is in my mind since then. You told me I'm here in Roma and I'm living the life.
But that's true, and that's actually what I think every time I go somewhere where I've never been, or it's a faraway place, because Rome for a small Estonian girl is a major thing, and I just enjoy my time in these cities. For example, I was in Sydney this summer, and I was on top of the world. I didn't I just couldn't believe I was there, and I thought I am living the life. Even when I'm on the plane ride, which takes like what, like 20 hours or something, I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, this is awesome. I'm living the life."
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you were in Sydney for like you were top 5 in the competition. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that was a great achievement. I'm very happy about that I made it there, and I was able to perform well. And but competitions are also weird animals, so
Yeah, how do you cope with mental health? It's a very weird question, but in competitions, you're compared to others, which is kind of a non healthy thing. Do you have like some tricks to get, through those things?
yeah, well, mental health is not a weird question at all. And I want to advocate for mental health for singers a lot because it's a big part of who we are and what we do. And it's so much connected to our own sanity and our own mental health that if you don't take care of that and if you have problems, you're going to have a very hard time. And it's certain things are going to be impossible, especially because you always get compared, you always get judged, you always get critiqued. There are not so many nice things normally said to you. If you do a successful audition, even then the people, yeah, they like you, they take you for something, but then the critique starts. I mean, I don't have any tricks. I'm also very fortunate in a way that I've always been a very positive person and not very easily thrown off, and people can't hurt me that easily. But of course, there are certain things that will get to me. And competitions are actually quite okay because as soon as you understand that it has actually nothing to do with you, you can, of course, you have to sing well and you need to have the basics very well covered. But sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's sometimes a matter of taste and also a matter of day, a matter of who hears you, if it's a man or a female, or does he she likes Callas, or does he she like Sutherland, or what is their imagination doing at the time when you're singing, and you cannot control that. You can only offer yourself to them and show your side of things, and hopefully they will get it, but they may not like it. So as soon as you realize that there are so many more factors around the competitions, then everybody, I think, will be just fine. What I find even more difficult about mental health is not so much the competitions and the constant comparing, but it's the down time, let's call it, like the time when you're not doing anything, when you're not auditioning, when you're not singing a competition, when you're not doing a recital. Because then,
The desert crossing.
yeah, the desert crossing, exactly.
Desert
and
crossing,
and then
yeah.
and then your own demons come to hunt you, and that is what I find the most difficult about it. Day to day, to tell yourself that you're doing a good thing, you're learning something, you're developing yourself. You haven't maybe made it yet and nobody really likes you yet, but you're doing what you love. That's the most difficult for me, at least.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one in that field that find it difficult. I think that most of the people find it difficult, but it's just the fact that no one talks about it.
Yes,
And it makes it so hard also because of all the social media and the things that people only post about their successes, which is kind of normal, but
exactly.
then you don't see the
Exactly.
downside.
But then as soon as you know that people only post the happy times and the successful events in their life, you will know that, yeah, that's not only that they have more to their lives than that. And you can be pretty sure that they also have very horrible days when nothing is working, nobody likes them, and they hate themselves. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think everyone has those kind of days, huh?
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
the attitude towards other singers, like if you see other singers as your competitors, then you're in big trouble again, because we're not competitors. The soprano next to me is not my competitor. I'm not competing against her. I'm competing against myself, because that
Yeah.
person is either good or a bad singer, whatever. That's a matter of taste most of the time. She is there also competing against herself, and we're there to inspire each other, not to put each other down and point fingers and look what you're doing, and oh, I wish you all the best, but in the meanwhile you're kind of mad about it that she's getting all the success, you're not getting anything. I mean, yeah, you have to be happy for that person, even if it's very difficult, but you have to at first force yourself to be happy for that person, and then you will realize that, yeah, it really doesn't matter. You can just let it go and you will be happy for that person after that.
Yeah, and you will feel better with yourself too.
Exactly.
And what is the best advice you ever got about singing?
The best advice I've ever received, I think one of my teachers said that you just have to trust in your training. You have to trust in your singing, and the fact that nobody actually knows anything anyway. I know it's super weird. It sounds super weird, but in
No, it's not weird at all.
yeah, in context it really worked, because we always get stuck in our heads, and we always think about, oh, what are the others thinking about me? What are others thinking about me? But you shouldn't be concerned about that. The only thing you should do is do what you have been training for. So if you have an audition, you do the audition. You don't think about, are they going to like me? Are they going to hire me? What will they think of me? What will they think of my singing? What will they think of my CV? That doesn't really matter. You have to go there, you have to present yourself well, and you have to sing. And singing well sometimes depends on the day, sometimes it depends on many other things, but you have to do what you have been training for. So hopefully you have been training for that audition, you know your repertoire, you are well prepared, so you can just sing. So that was one of the best advices that I received. You have to do your job. You cannot do other people's jobs.
I adore it. I will keep that one in mind. Do what you have been training for.
I'm stealing that one.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Last but not least, is there a book you are bringing with you on travels? A favorite book of yours?
In my recent travelings, there's a very specific singing book that I bring along with me. It's very not objective, because it's written by my singing teacher, and I see it as my Bible. It's called A Modern Guide to Old World of Singing by David L. Jones. And it's a book I travel with. It's the book I bring to each of my practice sessions. It's a book when I'm feeling like things are not working. I might open it at a random page and just look at the exercise that is there and do what is written, because I have actually David's voice in my head constantly telling me what to do. So it's easier for me in that sense, but it helps me a lot. And it's looking rather old and worn out already, but it's it's not that old. But I just carry it along with me a lot. So that's one of the singing books that I travel with, and I trust in his teaching, and it has worked for me very well. But I read a lot. I read a lot of books, and sometimes I cannot travel with books because they're so heavy, and I don't own an iPad, so I cannot read from a device. I have to bring a book. But currently, I'm reading. As you are aware of, we have the same interest in Tim Ferriss. So I read.
Yes, we do.
I'm reading his latest Tribe of Mentors book, and it's very insightful. It's very insightful to read about other professions and other major top players in their field, how they approach life and what they find important. I like these kinds of one might call them self-help books or personal development books. I read a lot of them, and I think they're useful for singers, and everybody should try to read on the subjects that they think that they are lacking of. May it be inspiration or work ethics or routines, or I think it's very useful.
Yeah, and those books might bring you out of your comfort zone, which is very necessary for singers too.
But I also try to balance it with reading something that is like a fictional work that is not scientific and that is not real life based, because that also opens your imagination a lot and also takes you out of the weird world of singing for a moment.
Yeah, and you need it. I mean, you're a creative being, so you need to travel by your mind too.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I think that's it for today. We had some really interesting views. I absolutely adore it.
Great. No, this was super fun. Super fun.
Well, maybe next time we will meet in another city than Toulouse and Rome.
Oh, yes.
That would be fun. Who knows
Yes.
next time? Well, so I will say thank you very much. How do we say thank you in Estonian?
Aitäh.
Ooh, come again.
Aitäh.
Aitäh.
Exactly. Aitäh.
Yeah!
No,
God.
aitäh to you. Aitäh.
Well, aitäh. And how do you say goodbye?
Head aega.
Ooh, once again.
Head aega. Head aega.
Head aega. No,
Exactly.
ga, right?
Head aega.
Head aega.
Head aega.
Well, we now learn some Estonian too.
Yes, we need more people who can speak Estonian. There's too little of us.
Yeah, but that's certainly do. Well, now the listeners of this podcast will know a thing or two about Estonian too. That's marvelous.
Yes.
And this was our first episode of the English version of Vilyrik. If you like it, please, sharing is caring, comment it, follow us on social media. We will make sure to keep you posted about all the news concerning Vilyrik, included our original version, which is in French, so French speaker, make sure to check it out. And now I will leave you with the beautiful voice of my Estonian friend, Maari, with an extract of Die Walküre, Wagner.